pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we do have the consent agenda as item 2. Does anybody have anything they'd like to remove from the consent agenda? Okay. All right, we'll review the consent agenda in a little bit. And fiscal business, Russ?
Nothing to report, sir.
Public comment? Doesn't look like much. And moving on to new business administration.
You want me to read Mr. Boyer's comment?
Oh, yes. Yes, public comment.
Over the weekend, we received communication through the website info@clearcreektownship.com. Mr. Brandon Boyer at 1095 Hunter's Crossing in Clear Creek posed the question to the board. With nearly 25% increase in homes in our township over the past decade, Dayton Daily News article from May 10, 2020, and numerous other subdivisions in progress, and in light of the ongoing pandemic, which has brought an increased appreciation and demand for safe outdoor family activities, can you please provide the current status of Harbaugh Park development? The Harbaugh Park Master Plan in 2018 described implementation of Phase 1 in 1 to 5 years. What is the current timeline and what barriers do you see to implementation in 2021? Thanks, Brendan.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
Since we put that in, let's talk about that a little bit. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? I know that's kind of all on hold, to say the least. Has been for a while. I don't think we budgeted anything for this next year to do anything substantial there.
Yeah.
So would a plan to be to talk about budgeting something for like a Phase 1 for, get a plan to budget it for next year, and maybe then whatever we determine Phase 1 will be, do the major construction, get the roads in, the pathways or something like that, to move forward.
As the board is well aware, with no park levy, it's completely and totally general fund subsidized, and I don't need to continue to beat the drum about the general fund, but general fund dollars they're tightly budgeted, and we spent down the general fund a little bit the past couple of years with additional road paving, so we're not exactly flush with cash there, so it's always in our mind. It's always on my mind, but frankly, the upkeep of BA Park and keeping the parks that we do have maintained right now, it runs anywhere from $800,000 to $1 million a year. So that's a pretty substantial chunk of general fund revenue on an annual basis.
Okay, then maybe we should. I think we should probably. I don't remember how elaborate the plan is that we have. I think there was basically design. So maybe we could look at getting a plan drawn up. It's a working plan. And is there any type of federal or state money that we may be able to apply for as look at some grant money? I mean, we could start with that.
Yeah, there's money out there.
If there's money out there, and I know it's usually some matching, but if the matching part is not too much, maybe we could look at that. I'd say at least we could answer this gentleman and say, it's on our radar, and we're going to try to look at some grant money, but talk about it's general fund money. No, sorry. Yeah, it's general fund money, and we do spend approximately this much already for parks. Give him a little idea of what's going on.
Sure.
What do you guys think about that? So far as getting funded.
I'm not allowed to comment.
Steve, please.
Well, I think we've been talking about the expansion here in the building here, and certainly that's got to take top priority, and that's where our interest, and not only interest, but
need.
Our priority. It's our priority right now. So,
yeah.
But like you say, it's not been forgotten, but timing is not what would put it in the front of the list.
Absolutely, I agree, but let's see about what it costs to get us a real plan and look for some grant money. And Chief, it looks to me like there's a car stalled out in the intersection. You may want to go on this side on Tunnel Hill, but everybody's passing in there.
The car's empty. It was empty when I came in. They just got it parked on the side of the road.
Okay, so it's over. Yeah. Obviously. Okay, well, let's get to the answer. Sure. Okay, anything else under, anything actual public comment? Okay. Moving on to administration, and it's 5230, a resolution declaring it necessary to levy a tax in excess of the 10 mil limitation, 3.75 mil, on a continuing basis, dispensing with the second reading and clarifying to the Warren and Montgomery County Boards of Elections that the question being put to the electors of the incorporated and unincorporated township at the November 3rd, 2020 general election.
You know, this is the second of two pieces of legislation that have to be passed in order to certify to the Board of Elections of both counties and capture all of the unincorporated as well as the city limits of Springboro, put it to the voters in the general election. If you have any questions on that, answer.
Anybody have any questions from that? I know we did talk about it last meeting. Is there a motion to approve 5230?
So moved.
Second. Mr. Mearsclaw. Yay. Mr. Gabbard.
Yay.
Mr. Wade.
Yay. Okay, and then item 2 is a recommendation to authorize $300 in additional authority to the township administrator for repairs at 3908 North State Route 48 that were originally approved on March 9th, totaling $17,020.
Yeah, the overhead garage door was found to be completely defective. It needs to be replaced to be able to put the house on the market. So, unfortunately, it's overrun by $300 from the authority that the board gave me to do the repairs. We asked the board for that additional funding.
Is there a motion to approve this $300 additional authority for this project?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard.
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw.
Yay.
Mr. Wade.
Yay. And we have a discussion of inquiry of Fisher Homes LLC regarding potential annexation of land fronting on Widener Road south of Lower Springboro.
Mr. Palmer provided us the plan last week, and Fisher provided to him, and we met with him. Informal, well, the formal process, I shouldn't say formal, the process that Mr. Pizzuto and I came up with includes an informal ask of the board about any annexation question, and this being one of them. Most of that property is in the city, but the western portion of it lies in the township on the Widener Road. Jeff, do you have anything to add to the question?
The only thing to add, this is north of the high school. The current plan is putting 70-foot lots in what would be our remaining, or our part of the plan. So what would go out of Quick Creek Township and Springboro, immediately joining us would be 70-footers. Knowing that you guys do not have a appetite for such things in the township, I said if that would be something that would go through, we'd have a discussion about heavy buffers along our boundaries, and that you guys were typically wanting to have half-acre lots of the like. So if this were to go through, to expect a lot of conditions.
How many acres is it, our portion?
You know, I don't have that in front of me.
Yeah. It's kind of nebulous because they're not taking an entire piece of one property.
Yeah.
It kind of bisects it, so it's kind of an unknown component. But just say the western third.
99 home sites in there.
I'm sorry?
99 home sites.
In the western third of the whole
Yeah.
project.
Yeah. Just in the Clear Creek Township portion.
Yeah. Well, it seems to me like that Clear Creek Township, at leaving it at, not annexing it, and leaving it at the rate homes, half-acre lots now is a nice buffer into the township from the city. So, in my particular opinion, I would say no. To develop to city standards and have a nice transition to township. Here's a person. And you know what? That connects, I think, as I looked at that the other day, doesn't that connect, 741 with Wider Road?
This possible future connection.
Yeah, that's through the Eshman,
Yeah, I know what it is. That's with Terry Cash's property, that's right on Widener Road.
Mhm.
And, they'll put a street through.
Yeah.
And, then are they gonna widen the road when they do that? And even though we're just, it's pretty good, but it's not, Widener Road doesn't need any more traffic, it's not, it's about as simple as that.
Yeah, if it was developed through the city.
Buses out there, have lots of buses, I mean, they pick up kids there, but that's why when they built that Dennis Elementary, one of the things that we said then is you can't run your buses out there. You know, you can't, because that road won't take it.
Yeah. If it were developed underneath the city, it would not have extraterritorial improvements, which would be in the township. So the only way in which that would be reviewed is if it truly developed as a city portion and a township portion. And through our regional planning subdivision review process, that could be looked at. But there would be an extent north and south that would be beyond that impact.
Well, that's my final note, so, yeah, thank you.
I agree.
I stand by mine.
Oh, you do?
And again, I think we can go back to them and remind them that we need to have entrances and exits in every neighborhood. This future, we're gonna do this, we have no tolerance for that. We can't take care of our community with one way in and one way out, period. So, I know it costs them a little bit more money in asphalt, but, and they lose a lot, but they can still make their millions off the other 200 lots.
Any development is gonna likely require two entrances,
So,
just for a matter of basic public safety. Mr. built a very nice home, it's been my experience in 20 years in local government, and it will look great on a half-acre lot.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And absolutely, and my guess is their half-acre lots will sell quicker than our lots, so, for more money. Anyway, that's what I would send back and for Mr. Susan, tell Chris, that's what we kind of look at, for nice transition area. They make a very nice intersection on Wyman Road, very nice turn lanes, both sides. Okay. Any other comments on that?
Not at this time.
Okay. Move on to planning and zoning with 5231, a resolution determining maintenance of the below-listed tracts of land constitute a nuisance. Yes, sir.
Yeah, these are two properties in the Country Creek subdivision that are just not being maintained. Same order.
So, it's just vacant lots.
So they're actually with built homes, and the developer builder has just kind of gone AOL. They're empty.
They're not looking good.
Yeah, so the developer is asking, us to put pressure on the builder, and ultimately I've sent letters historically to the sites and gotten nothing back.
Jason said he heard.
I heard he went bankrupt. So,
That's probably why he's not playing.
And I don't think either home is actually finished.
Well, the outside is from my perspective, so it's a shell. There's nothing else.
Wow. Okay, any questions for Mr. Hall? Is there a motion to approve 5231?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Yeah. While we're talking in zoning, I know we all got an email about the dogs barking, don't have it in front of me, but I read it. You want it? Oh. We must have that on there, I think that. Oh, this is our dog.
Yeah, sorry, the email.
Yep, but mine includes. Okay, so what can we legally do? At least, I know that says something, but it's not, doesn't have the biggest teeth in the world.
I apologize, I haven't read it, I was off most of last week, and I did see it on my emails this morning, haven't got to it yet, so I need to read through it, see what it says.
Well, I sympathize with the person who's talking about the dogs barking basically all night right across the street from them, and it's, the backyard backs up to the front of their house. And, I have lived in that situation before, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible, especially if you're, which I'm not, so I was able to deal with it. Light sleeper, you really do suffer with that. So that was 94, so it's been a long time since we addressed that.
No opposed, names on that one.
No, from Dale Land, yeah. So Noel passed away many years ago. But, anyway, I think we need to, and I understand from the email, which I know you haven't seen yet, the officers have been out there many times to talk to the complainant. Don't know necessarily about the other side. And basically, according to this email, they basically said there's nothing we can do about it.
Is this on the right of world?
Yes.
There's some additional components to that, I understand, other than just dog barking. Maybe it's a little more complicated than that. We have that out there, I am familiar with the right of world's complaint in the past. Didn't know that's what the email was, but we have to witness that, so we've asked him to call us and go down and listen to it. He claims he had some audio tape of it or whatever. So we gave him some instructions, if I remember correctly, Sergeant Hensley did, on approaching the prosecutor's office about signing his own complaint. Since it's not been seen by us, or when we're there, it's not barking. But there are some additional issues relative to that other than just dogs barking. So.
Okay. Well, you might want to talk to Mr. Pacheco, and might end up at least, you might need to send a letter out to really let him know what the real law says and what can be done, can and cannot be done.
So the other thing too is it's working its way through the General Assembly. It did get passed before they took a recess, but there is an attempt, and I don't remember the House or Senate bill number off the top of my head, but trying to address noise issues more in townships, because they are limited, even limited home rule townships like we are limited in terms of the noise, particularly because there's nothing we can do in the agriculture district. So, you know, if there's an agricultural use, there's an argument that, again, the legislation's supposed to change, but we don't have that legislation yet. But currently on the books, you gotta be careful with that.
Well, we've dealt with dogs barking a lot in agriculture, and these are those two subdivisions, it sounds like, but.
Gotcha. Right. Good point.
I don't know if we have a lot to keep. Anyway, if you guys can get together, at least get a visual comment back.
The other thing too is that I know citizens do not like to hear this advice, but it is also a separate track, which is their own private nuisance complaint, and they can hire counsel. In some respects, they have a little less burden of proof, because it's only a preponderance as opposed to beyond a reasonable doubt, and there's much less proof problems, if you will, when it's just a private civil complaint versus the government. Actually filing an action in the government. And, you know, my experience, not as much in Warren County as it is Hamilton County, but my experience is in Hamilton County, you'll get a complaint like dog barking. And I'm not minimizing or belittling the complaint.
Oh, no.
I'm simply saying that as a matter of court process, they look at those and they go, stop the dog from barking, dismissed, that kind of thing. Because they have their dockets they move their dockets that way. So just as a practical matter too, the other thing sometimes can be is that you've got to secure compliance more than you're worried about enforcement, if you will. There's also something that sometimes can help, and I don't know if the prosecutor's office does it here, but something known as private mediation, where you actually sit folks down and say, rather than file a criminal complaint, here's what you need to do, and work it out this way, and that may also be beneficial too, because it kind of threads the needle between a criminal prosecution and a civil suit, and allows people to get together.
I think the last time I reviewed this, he's the only person complaining in that area, and we're not getting it from the other neighbors.
Well,
So
that's also a factor too in how it's looked at, and it has to be to the chief's point. I mean, well, not only do you have to witness it, it also has to be objectively unreasonable. Meaning just because you don't like it, or you don't like it, or you don't like it, that doesn't mean that's a violation. It has to be objectively, to the reasonable person, unreasonable. That becomes a hard proof problem too, or can be.
Well, I'll respond to this gentleman.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at
Right.
it. And again, if the new bill changes.
If it's necessary.
Right. And if the law changes, obviously we'll be on top of that, but that they have not passed it.
Feels like a scene from Building Madison, so.
Okay. Just don't file Parker.
The
price is wrong,
Reasonably
right?
unreasonable to the reasonable person.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that.
Nobody's reasonable in that situation.
No, that's hilarious, that's good.
Okay.
Anything,
Right.
anything else for planning and zoning? Moving on to the fire district, do we have items on the consent agenda, anything else other than that, Steve? Yes, sir. Okay, and then on the road and parks, anything other than consent agenda items?
No, sir.
Okay.
Real quick.
Yep.
Got a very nice note, passed it along to Tony and the guys from a resident about the condition of Trustee Panel. And actually one of our local attorneys.
Will do.
So, very complimentary of what they're doing out there, so. Well done.
Nice. Chief, police district, nothing? Okay. And we do have moving on to consent agenda, we've had, we've looked at consent agenda, is there a motion to approve as it is?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Gibson?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Staff report?
Yeah, I have a few things. I got a request or a question last week from Douglas Bluefeather, who is in charge of the production business that's on the Indigenous Music Festival every year. He was very eloquent in his laying out of the current situation with the pandemic and whether we were going to allow him to stage his music festival in August. The way I put it to Mr. Bluefeather was I was going to discuss it with the board here at the meeting today. My first inclination is to allow it, but to ask he and those that put it on to use social distancing, make certain to keep their patrons safe. We did, the chief has obviously recommended doing the National Night Out later in the year in October, but who knows where this is going. Recent uptick in cases, we're coming back together a little bit is kind of concerning, but that was my first inclination, but obviously I would not bruise the toes of the board if you do not wish to proceed with that.
I personally am just fine with it, but what you guys think?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just tell them that what they do is going to reflect on us if it becomes an issue, so try to keep that in mind.
I made it very clear to them that any liability that arises out of it is theirs alone. If they choose to put it on, they own it.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm going to discuss some financing options with Russ this coming week. We need to calendar some time to talk about more hard numbers and figure out where we're going.
Okay.
Facility.
Have you had a chance to, I saw the email again from the lady on the tragedy. I think you were going to start that process.
Yeah, I talked to the fellow in Miami Township last week just to rehash that conversation. He provided some materials, some additional materials for the RFQ, so we'll definitely move forward with the proposal.
You might let her know where you're at.
Sure.
See what can be done. I think I said the last meeting, my rate is certainly double to what Katie pays in spring, or save company.
So I'm gonna walk further to take lines of the road.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Anybody, staff, anything else under staff updates? Jeffrey?